take up.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ अष्टमोऽध्यायः अक्षर ब्रह्म योगः श्रीभगवानुवाच मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः आब्रह्मभुवनाल्लोकाः पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम् अर्हद्य अहर्यद्ब्रह्मणो विदुः रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्तां देहोरात्रिविदो जनाः अव्यक्ताद्व्यक्तयः सर्वाः प्रभवन्त्यहरागमे रात्र्यगमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्यक्तसंज्ञके भूतग्रामस एवायं भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्यहरागमे.
Wonderful. All right. So at this point, we are answering the question, what happens at the time of departure for those seekers who keep me in mind? Me means Bhagavan, in Paramatma, whose mind is reveling in that. What happens to them? So Bhagavan is answering, these few verses are about that only. So, Mam Upetya Punarjanma. So that means that they don't get Punarjanma. That Punar means again, a birth, or rebirth, or whatever way we want to understand that. So we don't get that because from what? See, what is it that Bhagavan is talking about? Uh, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world, what we think, it is, are maza aa raha hai bahut, we do all this ha ha hu hu, to Bhagwan, it is dukkhalayam. Dukkhalayam, alayam means abode of. So, जैसे हम कहते हैं विद्यालय, विद्यालय means vidya ka alay, the house of learning. Same way we have Himalaya, Devalaya. A temple is called Devalaya, where the Devas reside. Or for the doctors, Aushadhalaya, where, they dispense all the medicine. So same way, this particular place that we are in is called Dukhalaya. We say, oh, but yeah, I don't feel that. I've told you this story where, there was one uh, lecture on happiness. So I told one of my friend, Punjabi friend, would you like to join me? He says, what is it about? I said, they are going to talk about happiness. तो कहते हैं, oh, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ happy हैं, we are happy, we don't need any of these things. So this is, but to from the person who is a realized person or somebody who is already in that area. So the point is, as long as our mind is away from Paramatma, it is Dukhalaya only. We may think we are enjoying, but um, according to Shankaracharya, he says the real happiness is Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam Nandati 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 Eva. So that mind which is reveling in Brahman, in that truth, in that Paramatma, only that is Nandati 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 Eva. That means it is reveling in, it is constantly in the mode of happiness. So as long as we turn away from Bhagwan, we are in this state of because this is the way the yogis think. Now when we here it says dukhalaya ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means it is constantly changing. Shashvat is long time, but nothing is staying there for a long time. It is only constantly changing. Ashashvatam. So that means it is momentary. In there is this what is the definition of samsara? कहते हैं संसारम kshanikam kshanikam. That means every moment it is changing. And then it says sansaram iti dukkham dukkham. It is only pain. What else is there? It is a very negative way of looking at it, but if you analyze it, you will realize that it is that way, because like again from Bhaj Govinda, कहता है, पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम इहि संसारे खलु दस्तारे कृपया पाहि पारि पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम भज गोविंदम मूढ़मते. So that constant bhajan or the constant remembrance of Bhagwan is the solution to the problem. If we say that no, I don't see a dukkha, if I have the right paristiti, why would I say it dukkha? So let's just analyze. It is there in many scriptures. I'm just gonna beautiful. Uh, Several verses are there in Vivek Chudamani, and it's there in Yoga Vasisht also, where Bhagwan Ram is talking why he is not interested in this world. So in that he says, as a kid also, the birth itself is dukkha. you know that the pain of being born is so much, both for the mother and for the child. It is not a easy thing. The first is 9 months of cramped up position that it has to be in, and then when it comes out, the first thing they do is they put him upside down, maybe slap him if he's not crying. So they expect you to cry because you have come to dukhalaya. So dukhalaya. So now the child has no way of communicating his problems. So what he does, everything he has to communicate by crying. He has to. He's hungry, cry. If he has potty, he has to cry. He has done anything, crying is the only solution. Then comes the time when they start talking, but then they are not in control totally. So they'll walk, run, fall, all kinds of, you'll see every kid has scratches all over, they have fallen. The more, as they grow older, they go to school. School has their own issue, Some kids go through a lot of trauma because there are kids, they are, teasing them or bullying them or whatever. Then they have issues of jealousy and other problems. So even when you are going through, which looks like oh, this is a great situation to be in, but हम भी कहते हैं ओ बचपन के दिन भी क्या दिन थे, बट इफ यू रियली वांट टू गो बैक, you will realize there was a lot of pain involved in that. The adults could say anything to us, we can't respond back, you know because that's not samskar, that if they even uh, give us a one or two, that is also should be acceptable. Point here is, this is dukhalayam. Bhagwan is not talking about a particular situation, he's talking about every situation. Even though it seemed paristhiti wise, oh, I am really enjoying, but that would be momentary, but there is an after effect of it. you know so point is, no matter what situation we are in, as long as our focus is samsar, it is going to be dukkha. That's the point. But the whole goal is to develop vairagya. No matter what we say, why are we talking about all these negativities? Is because we have so much attraction and attachment to this samsar that it is hard to break out of it. So, by telling us all these things and reminding us that what you are thinking, it is the greatest thing, it is actually a dukkha. And even if it is sukh experience, it is only kshanikam, it's only momentary. It is not going to be lasting happiness. So, why spend energies on something which is going to last only a short time? See, even when people get married, they are getting married for सात जन्म का साथ. Teacher, long, long term. Nobody says, "Would you like to marry me for 2 months?" No, no, that's not acceptable, right? So we are looking for a long-term solution. We are not looking for a short-term solution. So Bhagwan is actually offering that. Uh, the long term solution here. So even continuing to the dukhalayam, so even in every stage of life we have issues. Jab you get older, then there are health issues, there are other kind of emotional issues of people leaving you, or the kids going away. Those are the emotions that people have to deal with. They know it, and still they feel bad. Why? जब पता है तो why cry about it? So we have to become aware of our you know this situation, and how to get out of it is also something very clearly given here. uh, so point is that there is no escape from or looking for sukh in sansar. That sukh in sansar is like illusory idea ki if I have this paristiti, I will be happy. So anyways, so Bhagavan says, okay, you know what, this so those who don't have bhakti, those who are not, whose mind is not turned towards me, that's what bhakti is. Bhakti means love. Just I have to keep repeating myself because people have different ideas about bhakti. Ki, uh, you sit down in a corner of a temple and just do Om Namah Shivaya. That is bhakti too, maybe, but that love for Bhagwan is real bhakti. Parama prema rupa, bhakti ki definition given by Narad ji. So I stick to that definition. So those who don't have bhakti, what about them? So the next verse is Abrahma Abrahma Bhuvanan Lokaha Punaravrattim. O Arjuna, Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punarjanamana Vidyate. So Mam Upetya. So those this is an interesting concept. It has not been talked about so far. So this is the first time it gets introduced here. And it is not talked about in other chapters also. So Bhagwan is talking about that there are so many lokas. Lokas means the field of experience. We have uh, what is it? From, if you start with Bhuloka, which is this, our current state. So if you go up, the Bhu, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. So Satyam is the Brahmaloka. So Brahmaloka is the highest, that's where people go to. And then there is the lower lokas. Lower loka means more painful. Upper loka means more pleasurable, more, there is more joy in those lokas. Or the quality of joy is much greater there. So in lower it is Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, and so so these are all different names, but they say that there are way more than that. These are like the main ones, but there are like subsections of it too. So point here is that this punaravritti means ana jana, that you keep going and coming back from there, even up to Brahmalok. So this is very interesting. We thought, okay, once you reach Brahmaloka, then you are done. No, no, no. You are done when that agyan is gone. If suppose you go to Brahmaloka, but your mind is somewhere stuck in, you know, the child or something else, then you come back, enjoy that till your mind is totally, you know, have developed that total vairagya. Till that point, that coming and going will continue, even Swarga. See, in Brahmaloka, there is a difference. By the way, the one more thing. In the Bhuloka, the bodies are born. In Swargaloka, the bodies just appear because it is in a subtle form. It is not like you get born to a Devi or something, to go to Swarga. No, you just appear there. Just like you appear in your dream. It's like that. It's not like you invite guests in your dream and then these guests are born somewhere, no, they just appear. Same way, in those lokas also, the jiva just appears and it goes through the experiences what it is supposed to go through based on the karma phala. So Bhagwan is talking about that those who have mamupetya tu kaunteya, those who seek me or they reach me. Reach me means they want to be with me only, they have no other desire. So for them, punarjanmana vidyate, for them there is no rebirth, there is no second coming. Anyways, because all these worlds up to Brahmaloka is not permanent. It's interesting. Even Brahmaji is not permanent. Brahmaji is the first jiva. It is the, what we call in Vedanta, it is the total mind in which all these things are going to happen. So Bhagwan, it's the and the question is, why do people have to return? एक बारी चले गए तो चले गए. Why do we have to? Because the everything is kal parichinnatvat. That means everything is time bound. The time and space are the two factors that actually, you know keeps everything in check. So you are not going beyond time or beyond space. Only time you go beyond is when you have dropped that agyan. What is that agyan? That I am this jiva, that I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intellect. This agyan has to be dropped. The identification with my own true self is the only gyan. That's the because all these lokas that we are talking about, they are just they are just fields of experience. So it is not a place. It is not a. The idea is to. Bhagavan says, okay, like we go for a Hawaii trip or Portugal trip. So you go to, you you take the wine tour, or you take the boat trips, or you take whatever, we do. It is kshanikam, khatam. You are done, then only what remains is memory. Oh, yeah, that field of experience was there. I had it. I am back. Even people who have gone to Swarga, they have, this is like a big high people have, But what happens after that? Back to the Mrityu Loka, that you go through the same rut, you cannot get out of it. And get some more punyas, you are, you, it's like, have your the travel expense account, where you keep collecting till you have enough. Okay, now Hawaii trip or some other trip, but they also have their own limitation. Not every Hawaii trip can be great trip. For some people it may be, for some people it may be miserable because they didn't get the right food they wanted, the people were very rude, or whatever experience they may have. So they say, I spent so much money, but it reminds me of one thing that I heard long. I'm talking like in maybe late 70s, early 80s. Swami Dayanandji, he was also a disciple of Himyananda. So he used to give this example. He says this honeymooning couple, they decided to go to Hawaii. And when they went to Hawaii, the girl looked at, found her old boyfriend. And again, that something ignited in them. And she said, I'm going with him. I don't want to be with you. So she went. So he says, this guy came back crying from Hawaii, where he went for honeymoon. And he says, the moment somebody says Hawaii, he starts crying. He said, forget about Hawaii. Even if you say a beach, he starts crying. Because I forget about that. Even when he looks at sand, he starts crying. So because that was his experience, So point is, everything is kshanikam, everything is punaravritim. That means it is coming and going. There is no permanence in anything in this sansar, all the way up to Brahmaloka. So if we think, okay, Swarg mil jaye, that's it, then we are done. No, no, no. That also is time bound. Now Bhagavan says, time bound कितना बड़ा होता है? This is very interesting too. So he says, Sahastra Yug Paryantam. Sahastra Yug means thousand uh, yugas. Now, we are talking about Brahmaji's lifespan here. कहते हैं अहर्य ब्रह्मणो विदुहु रात्रिम युगम सहस्त्राणाम teo. This we did in Bhagavatam also, but just to recap on that. So one yuga that they are talking about is Mahayug. Just to give you some calculations. Char yug, four yugas are there: Kalyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Satyug. The span of each yug is double. So let's just say the Kalyug is 1 unit. The Dwapar is twice as much. The Treta is 3 times that of Kalyug, and the Satyug is 4 times that of Kali Yuga. So if we say Kali Yuga is X, just to give you some mathematical equation, if it is X, then it is X plus 2X plus 3X plus 4X, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 times X, you know. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is in bracket. So it is 10 times. So according to our scriptures, the Kali Yuga span is 432,000 years, 432,000. So just to round it up, say 400,000. Then one Mahayuga is 10x, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 10x. So it is 4 million. So 1,000, so 1,000 years, my God, you know. So now this is one day of Brahmaji. Kita 4 million years. Then Brahmaji goes to sleep. What does sleep means? Everything gets merged back into Brahmaji. With all the jivas, with all their samskaras, everything goes back. All their karmas, all everything, they go into the sleep mode, and then Brahmaji wakes up. When he yawns in the morning, Brahmaji's morning, then all the jivas, everything gets manifested the way it was. See, when we wake up from sleep, the world is exactly the way we slept, you know, except for some, accident happened or something. But point is, the manifested world is only a projection from Brahmaji's mind. That's the important thing we have to understand. So, so do you understand the mathematics here? uh, because if you just to go back from our uh, Bhagavatam days, so we are talking about um, a, because in the third canto we talked about all the different time measurements, Lavanime, Kshana, Kashta, Laghu, Nadika, Prahar, Din, the so just to give you a little idea about it. So there are measurements which are in terms of speed of light. Did we know that? It was measured in speed of light, which means there is something called Tris Renu. Anybody knows Tris Renu? So suppose you are in a dark room, you are, sab parde varde kiye hue hain, and there is, as soon as the sunrise happens, and there is some little opening on top of your room from which the light comes, and you can see that light coming in, and in that you can see some dust particles, very very small particles, and it's like it is filled with that, there is, you can see space, and then these dots are there. Now these dots are called trisrenu. So the this trisrenu is they say the measurement of uh, between trisrenus, how much time it takes the light to go from one to the next trisrenu. This is uh, what we call as time space, thing. It's very mind boggling. What, how did they even think about it? We don't think time and space are convertible, but it was there at that time. So anyway, so time is measured in from very small measurement. I don't remember the name of the absolutely the lowest ones, but love is the one that I know. Three times love is Nimesh. Nimesh is the time it takes for our eyelids to close or open. Love, Nimesh, Kshana. Kshana is three times that of Nimesh. Then Kashta, which is another measure of time. Then 15 Kashta make a Lagu. Lagu is, there were different measurements. And 15 Lagus is Nadika. And then 6 Nadika make a Prahar. Prahar is 1/8 of the day or night. That whole 24 cycle. 1/8 of that is Prahar. And no, 1/4, sorry. And 4 Prahar make a 1 day. Day means includes night also. That one cycle of Earth spinning around itself. Then 15 days make a Paksh. You know, we say, what is it called? It is the lunar cycle, waning and rising moon. Uh, and then two Pakshas make a month. The and then 6 months, 6 mass, they call mass. 6 mass make iron. The and 2 iron make a varsha, a year. So this is the measurement of time
Rajiv,
according to hmm,
the
yeah,
waning and this one is Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha.
Shukla Paksha. And yes, correct. That is correct. So so time is also relative. If we are enjoying something, the time doesn't seem to, or we get restless, then time is going too fast. Like, they say, once I was listening to a lecture, they said, the time it takes for the light to turn green and the guy behind you start honking. that that is another measure of time, the restlessness of people. So anyways, so Brahmaji's day and night we have seen is how long it is. It's like 1000 Mahayuga. So one yuga we calculated is 4 million years. So 4 millions times 1000. So it is 4 billion years. It is Brahmaji's one day, and he lives for 1,000 years. And then Brahmaji goes back. His job is over. He says, "I'm done. Back to some other, whatever Paramatma decides." So, or merges back into Bhagwan. So now it says, um, continuing on this same thought, कहता है अव्यक्ता अव्यक्तः सर्वाः प्रभवन्त्य राग में रात्रे आग में प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्य अव्यक्त संज्ञके. So what it means is this unmanifest, this the Brahmaji is always in a unmanifested form, by the way. Unmanifested form means it is never a physical form. It is only a subtle form. When we say manifest, unmanifest, understand it to be that way. That which is physical manifestation or which is made up of Panchikrit Panch Mahabhuta is manifested. That which is in the Apanchikrit Panch Mahabhuta is unmanifest. So manifest and unmanifest are both Vyakta and Avyakta. So our mind is where all the thoughts are rising is at a unmanifest. And when things manifest means they become available to us, you know. So so everything becomes available at the time Brahmaji wakes up, and everything goes back into the sleep mode. You know, you have the in computer also sleep mode. What happens in that? Nothing happens. You know, you suppose you have 6 windows open and you put computer into sleep mode. And when you open your computer, all the 6 windows are exactly where you left them. This is exactly what happens with Brahmaji also. So whatever was manifested, it goes into sleep mode and then it comes back. The So in the beginning, everything is avyakta because it is only in the mind, and then it becomes manifested. When it gets manifested, it becomes available for transaction. That's what it means. So all the creatures were already in the mind of Brahmaji. Then when Brahmaji wakes up, all these things come about. And it stays on for 4 billion years in manifested form. It's not like, but Punaravratim is going on. Like the small set of coming and going keeps happening. You know, people are born, then they die, then they are reborn. But what is happening in that is they are following a certain cause and effect relationship called karma. So that is very important. So arrival happens. So what happens to the new day? Is it a new beginning? No, it is the same jivas coming back. Whatever was the state they were in, whatever was the karma package that they were holding, that same package becomes again manifested. So if they were supposed to go to Swarga, they go to Swarga. If they were supposed to go to some Pitraloka, they go to Pitraloka. So it is manifestation of all these things happening. So that is the important part. Um, Now let's just one question may come up, that it is not. See, if suppose we say that this is the only life, people say that I don't believe in afterlife, this is the only life we have. Problem with that is then the dosha will be on Bhagwan. Suppose I am born with some physical deformity, right? Now if I have karmas behind me, then I can say, you know what, it must be because of some karmas. But if I say no, it is because Bhagwan decided to put me in this condition, then the dosha is on Bhagwan. There is a particular dosha which we'll discuss a little later also. But point is that the Bhagwan is, or Brahmaji is not deciding ki, oh, you know what, Bridge has suffered enough. Let me just straight away send him to Swarga. It's not like that. The package that Bridge is carrying or Rajiv is carrying is what gets manifested when Brahmaji's, so his calculation is not like he doesn't have to make any decisions about anybody. It's just सब कर्मों का चल रहा है. लेकिन which karma gets manifested when is a decision that Paramatma takes. Even that's beyond scope of Brahmaji. So this is something, whatever we have, pravritti, nivritti, desires, anger, jealousy, all these are packaged with us. See, that is why, we have been talking about it for so long. that the problem is with the with our raga dvesha. So raga dvesha is manifestation of our basic inner vasanas. So to get over that, we have to, because raga dvesha is the first thing that we can manage. Vasanas we cannot manage. We have no idea how many vasanas we are carrying. Some vasanas just manifest some time, and we say, "Oh my God, I didn't think I had this in me," but it does. Same way, but raga dvesha is something, the attachments and aversions is something that we can work on, become aware of it. Even if we don't do anything about it, at least become aware that I have this strong raga, and this raga is going to get me in trouble. If not today, tomorrow. So raga dvesha are our main enemies. See, that's why we talked last time also. The opposite of raga is not dvesha. Opposite of raga is vairagya, viraga. That means absence of raga. Because raga dvesha is same thing, it's two sides of the same coin. So we have to so the point here is that this whole world, all the way up to Brahmaloka or even up to Brahmaji, is only transactional. We are not the one going to Brahmaloka, is the same jiva which is here. So same jiva getting lot of punyas, can go up to Brahmaloka, but if his vasanas are not deleted or that raga dvesha is there, then he has to go back to experience it, because raga dvesha doesn't go away. So Bhagavan says, come to me with childlike heart. That means I am your mother. There is nothing more that you want other than me. That is the nature that Bhagavan wants us to be in. So question is, how long will it go on? So it says, we have time for one more. Yeah, sure. Bhut gramsa evayam, eva ayam. So all these means everything that we can experience, all that, all creatures, bhut grama. Bhut grama means all these creatures, and bhutva bhutva praliyate. That means after creation, they get merged into whatever was their karmas. Prior karmas, as you come out of the sleep mode, every window that was previously closed becomes manifested. It goes into unmanifest, and then it comes out of that, and it is available to us. Uh, and the same thing happens. Ratriyag me Vashah Partha. He Partha, that at night time of Brahmaji, Prabhavatya her Ragame. So in the daytime they get born, in the night time they get, but it is after going through 4 billion years. So 4 billion years, this Punavratim is constantly going on. And it is for all the jivas, including Indra. So these jivas are also constantly changing. In Bhagavatam we talked about that how many yugas Manu will control. Then Manu will have. Then there is Prajapatis. Then there are all the devatas. They are all time bound. That means they are there like a particular position they have to follow. In Kathopanishad also, they when the dialogue is going on between Nachiketa and Yamraji, Yamraji says, I am just a instrument in Bhagwan's hand. I am fearful of him because I have to obey his commands. So it is not like I am independent. There's nobody which is independent. So as long as this thing is going on, so this unmanifesting and manifesting is constantly happening, you know, and it is not one Brahmaji. There are Sahasra Brahmajis, who are so Paramatma has the capability, or when we say Paramatma has a we think of Paramatma as one entity. It is beyond both manifest and unmanifest, you know. So Bhutagrama, Brahmaji's day is all creations come back. Brahmaji's night, all creation go back in the sleep mode, you know. So this cycle continues. It is, it's a helplessly going on. It is not like even Brahmaji wants it. Brahmaji says, I have a job to do, So that's the job he is doing. Because birth and death are constantly happening for every creature, all the way up to Brahmaji, you know. Brahmaji is there only for 100 years of Brahma cycle, you know. So 4 billion years of a day and 4 billion years of night, and then continue with for 1,000 years. So it's a long one, but it is still a cycle, Uh, because we never say it is a new creation, it is a recycled creation. Because we say it is see Bhagwan, why he is doing all this thing, because it is recreation for it's a recreation recreation, so because in some religions it says that okay, this is the first and the last creation, uske baad, we will decide who goes for eternal heaven or eternal hell or eternal whatever eternal. We don't have such thing, all the way up to Brahmaji. Till that agyan is there, we continue. The moment the agyan is gone, then that whole idea about creation is gone as well. The creation which never was, so some say that okay, you know what, you are right, that there is no time when creation was not there. It is a continuous cycle, but there is no like night time, there is no sleep mode. Some other uh, what do you call it, panth or other thought processes say that they some say this cycle of creation. Why, question is, why should we accept it, you know because Shankaracharya says that creation goes on over and over. This is not something that it is anadi. Even when we say, okay, Brahmaji, you are putting us in trouble, the Brahmaji says, I am in trouble myself. As long as I have this job to do, I have to keep doing it. Uh, if suppose we don't believe in earlier creation, suppose we say, okay, you know what, Brahmaji one day decided, let there be world, let there be light, and there was light. Let there be creation, and there was creation. If we believe in that, then problem comes because the people will say, मेरे को ऐसा क्यों बनाया? Why am I like this? Why Bhagwan has been partial to me and totally partial to somebody else in a negative, in a positive way. I'm in the negative way, but so that means I Bhagwan is doing it, or this is called having an effect without a cause. Suppose if I am born in a very miserable state, then I say I didn't do anything, I am just born like this, which means the problem is with Bhagwan who created me. That is called Vaishmya dosha. Vaishamya dosha, Vaishamya dosha, which means that Bhagwan is making arbitrary decisions, which is not acceptable. Bhagwan says, okay, yeah, I am not doing it because this cycle is anadi. जब से creation है तब से ये cycle चल रही है. This is the fallacy, that if we say that there is effect but there is no cause, you know that is a so because this shastra of bondage and liberation is only meaningful if we have some choice, right? If we are given this, so jiva is caught in this pravarti, karma, gyan, all this cycle, but this cycle will continue till that agyan is gone. So the root cause of this whole samsar is agyan only. What is that? Uh, uh, क्षीणे तत्वे कः संसारः, you know uh, or gyate tatve kah sansara. Once you understand the truth, where is the samsara? So that is um such beautiful verses in Bhajgovinda. So anyways, so this is whatever is happening is the force of the past karmas. So they are the one that actually uh, push us in a particular manifestation. It is not Bhagwan doing it. Bhagwan says, okay, you know what, based on your pravarti and your karma and your samskaras, this is what you get today. That's what it is. But it is my own karmas. It is not, it is my own vasanas that are pushing me in this direction. So the whole reason, again, I'm saying it, this whole idea about this phrase or these shlokas is to develop that vairagya. I am stuck in this, not just for this life, for billions of years. It is not going to go away, not till that gyan has come. So, so that is why we have to put in an effort towards eliminating that agyan, So we have to understand that I had a life before this life and I will have a life after this life. This is going to be a continuous process because that's not going to go away till that idea that I am the one going through this. So the Vedanta says the goal is to understand you are the one, you are not the one going through this cycle. You can actually decide to de-alienate from that whole cycle. That possibility is there. So bhutva bhutva praliyate. Bhutva bhutva means again and again it is happening. Again and again you go through that cycle, the cycle of rebirth, all the way to Brahmaloka. You can go to Brahmaloka also. And in that Brahmaloka, you will be given the Brahma Upadesh. And if you realize, then you go, you are done. But if you don't, then you have to come back. But so the question is there an end to it? This is realization of the true self, because karma and results are going to be continuous, right? There is no escaping out of it. Knowing that I am not the one doing karma is the goal, is what will get you out of this cycle, you know. So just to wrap this up, because I think we are close to our time, because this world that we are in is a small speck in Brahmaji's mind only. We think it is, we are in control of this whole thing. So we have to accept creation, with the cause and effect relationship. This creation is continuous, but with that because without the cause and effect, it is very hard to accept it. So it's like a roller coaster ride. you know we know we are going to go through it, but we still line up, in that. Okay, I want one more cycle, one more, and then we shout, "Ah," you know when we are falling. But we like that joy, so be it. Bhagwan says, okay, you have an unlimited ride coupon, you want roller coaster, go back, enjoy that, but come back again you go back. So uh, so now question is there a reality beyond these cycles? Can we get out of this cycle? That we will do on Thursday. All right, we can wrap it up here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.